Welcome to the council meeting of February 4th, 2025. Anyone in the audience that needs amplifying headphones, please raise your hand and we'll bring those to you. Not seeing any, let's rise for the pledge, please. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Donna, will you do a roll call, please?
No. Councilmember Blush.
Here.
Councilmember Stearns.
Here.
Councilmember Gilmore.
Here.
Mayor Nesco.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sherman.
Here.
Councilmember Sapp.
Here.
And Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here. Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
Does the council have any late changes to the agenda? City manager, any late changes?
Nope.
All right.
Mr. Mayor.
Council have any board reports to share?
The
Yes.
Shelton Memorial Park Board has a slight decrease in burials, but an increase in internments for anyway, they're still they're doing way better than they were a few years ago, and they are actually going to do well. With this Memorial Day, and then the next week they have the rates. I think in next November. So that's a bunch. Cool.
Anyone else? I'd just like to say that we met with our new councilwoman, Emily Randall, last week. Me, some county commissioners, some staff from both sides, staff from the city, and basically just looking forward to having a relationship with Washington and getting some stuff done. All right. Hey, has everyone had a chance to read the consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda published?
Who to approve this and consent agenda as published?
All right. There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as published. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. The council invites the public to make comments on matters of city business. Comments shall be made to the entire council and not an individual council member. Please refrain from any personal or disrespectful remarks that create disruption of our meeting. If unreasonable disruptive conduct continues, you'll be asked to leave the meeting. Donna, inside of public comment.
We do, Mr. Mayor. Our first in-person commenter is Kathy McDowell.
Good evening, council, mayor, deputy mayor. I love getting up here and talking to you because with me sitting there for 8 years, I know what it felt like to have someone come and talk to you. And so I enjoy coming and talking to you. I just want to say the handicap spots on Railroad, I'm still just pushing that or encouraging the public works to get that done, which will be a great help to people that have to walk a long ways. And it would be much appreciated. Kudos out to our public works for being ready for the big snowstorm that we were going to have. Kudos out to the police department for the great job that you're doing. And I'm looking forward to a few projects this summer. Our Lions Club with our first responders, and you'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Our next person is Melissa Moore.
Council members, mayor, deputy mayor, I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody for meeting with me this past couple of weeks and sharing our ratings and our information. I think that's amazing. And also to update you on house number 39 is coming along. We just finished our rough and plumbing, our rough and electrical. Insulation is installed as of today, and drywall will begin as of Friday. So we're blessed to have you guys. We're blessed to have such amazing homeowners and continue to do some amazing work. One of the things I didn't say last time I was here is we completed 49 home preservation projects last year, which is absolutely outstanding for getting these people in and out of their homes, trying to lessen up on our fire department and our emergency service system to allow these people to go in and out of their houses. We're continuing to do our work and just do the best we can, but we're getting ready to break ground on house number 40 here in the next coming weeks too as well. So I will keep you guys posted as we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Kendra Martinson.
Hello, good evening. My name is Kendra. I'm a Habitat for Humanity homeowner. I've been in the home for almost a year now. And this change left me and my kids so much. We've been 4 years homeless. I worked as a CNA and I did other side jobs to try to support me and my kids. We could not afford anything. And I had a house in voucher for a while for the 1 year. I could not find a house or apartment, anything my children had. If it had not been for Habitat for Humanity, my kids and I would still probably be homeless, living out of a vehicle. And it has changed our lives so much. My youngest says he finally feels safe and he's not scared anymore. My kids are thriving in school. My son is qualified for the highly capable program at Evergreen. They're playing, they're growing, they're developing. Our family's finally thriving. We're finally learning, we have our own space. So we're learning ourselves and how to express ourselves. My kids are learning responsibilities like doing dishes and being responsible and maintaining their own space. Which is such a blessing and such an important life skill that we wouldn't have without this opportunity. Being blessed with this house enables us to go from surviving to just thriving in. Having a life, exploring life. It's made such a big difference. It's allowing us to become our best selves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Dean Jewett.
Good morning. It's hard to follow speakers like that. So, kudos to Habitat, what they do, and well, not even what they do, it's like how they do it. Because that empowers other people to kind of get involved and take care of themselves, which is exactly what we want. People using the services, lifting themselves out of the quagmire. So kudos. I want to chat a little bit about House Bill 1255. That would mandate and fund the removal of dangerous camps near schools, parks, child daycare centers, courthouses, and areas vulnerable to water contamination. I was at the county commissioners meeting this morning, talking with Mark Neary, and he's having some conversations with our own Mark, about the railroad camps and what we can do to work together to get people to some services. And if they don't want to use those services, well, then we have to take a different approach to that. But we have some pretty good cleanup that we need to do. I take people up on those walks. I just took some homeowners from Highway 3 up the railroad tracks, and they actually pulled their house from the market because they didn't want people seeing what was along Highway 3 as they tried to sell their $750,000 house. So we've got a lot of work to do on the illegal camps. I want to talk about ADA. Mark and I have gone back and forth on an email. There's some pictures that I sent to Mark and to Chief. There's already a nationwide movement and a local movement. Sacramento, California, Portland, Oregon. ADA has sued the cities on both and won for blocking of sidewalks. And it's not just people that are blocking our sidewalks. There's carts, there's garbage, there's sleeping, there's tents, there's all kinds of stuff that happens. And this doesn't happen just on a one-off. It happens on a continuous basis. So we need to really work on that, make sure that they understand what you can do, what you can't do. We just finished a pit count. Everybody knows that the pit count has gone up probably 200 every year. So, last time 50% of that pit count was from individuals that were not members of Shelton and or Mason County. Let's talk about, what happens in some of these camps. Okay. I mean, how many times does the fire department go out there and have to put out fires Do you think that's with dry wood, or do you think that's from vegetation and wood and plastic and whatever other toxic materials that you can find to burn? So it's something that we really need to talk about. We really need to think about it. Once we work together and we get those camps removed, we need to work diligently on making sure that they do not come back and that the resources are used appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Henry Hurd.
Hello, yes, my name is Henry Hurd, and I moved to Shelton about 4 years ago. I'm merely here to endorse the efforts behind Habitat for Humanity. In that time, I got to know Kendra. She's a hard worker and most deserving of having a home for herself and her sons. She is a wonderful mother and a hard worker. And clearly she went through a vetting process through Habitat for Humanity because they have to vet individuals to make sure that they, fill the qualifications for having a home. And I'll just say, if they vet their other candidates like they have Kendra, they're doing a great job because, again, not everybody has a smooth road in life. And so she was one of those individuals that hit a lot of rough spots. And, but now, after all these years, she's finding a path and she's found a path. And I hope that we can continue to help others in that same way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Aaron Martinak.
Good evening, council and mayor and manager. I just want to update you. I'm Erin Martinak, and I am the board president of Community Lifeline Homeless Shelter. And we have opened our doors for the last 2 weeks now for a cold weather shelter, which is above and beyond the regular shelter. We are only allowed by law to have we have to have one staff for every 15 guests. And so the cold weather shelter has been increasing our capacity. We're opening the downstairs, but we're having to have volunteers to man the cold weather shelter, which has been hard to find people. We can't use our staff because we are maxed out financially. So I just want to let you know that we have been having volunteers and having people to support us. And also this needs to change. We can't go on with this. We would like you to think about and consider how you might support the city during cold weather snaps. I know that, for example, Olympia has a cold blue where they have extra support for their shelters during freezing weathers. So I just want to encourage you and ask you if you would consider how you want to support our unhoused population during the cold weather snaps, because the staff is doing all that they can. Their hearts are huge, and so they don't want to leave anyone out in the freezing weather, even when our capacity doesn't accept that. They're willing to volunteer their time, but it's not going to work on the long term. So I'd ask you to consider a long-term solution. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, we have one person on Zoom, and that is Tamara Ingwaldson.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and council members. First, Colleen would like me to share our appreciation. Oh, wait, I'm Tamara Ingwaldson with New Horizon Communities, and I live in Lake Limerick. First, Colleen would like me to share our appreciation for the opportunity to meet one-on-one with most of you over coffee. We look forward to receiving dates and times that work for those we've not had a chance to schedule time to meet with. And then listening to the other comments, as we think about all of the variables that contribute to one being unhoused, we'd like to share from the book, The Body Keeps the Score by Dr. Bessel, Bessel, van de Kolk. And adverse childhood experiences, or ACE studies, have shown that child abuse and neglect are the single most preventable cause of mental illness, the single most common cause of drug and alcohol abuse, and a significant contributor to leading causes of death such as diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, and suicide. In addition, from the National Child Traumatic Stress Network, over 70% of adolescents receiving drug or alcohol addiction treatment experience childhood trauma. 1 in 4 children and adolescents have at least one traumatic experience before they're 16. If a teen experiences physical, sexual abuse, or assault, they are 3 times more likely to use drugs or alcohol. And a person who experiences trauma will begin using drugs or alcohol 76% of the time. There is a stronger link between childhood trauma and addiction than there is between obesity and diabetes, and 2/3 of addicts report being abused as children. There are also numerous studies that connect what's called epigenetics and how historical trauma also contributes to a person's ACE score. And again, ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, and how that impacts the way we make decisions, the filters we develop, and all of those things. This is why it's critical to address homelessness from a lens of compassion. It's why Housing First programs that are sobriety-based are more successful at helping to break the cycle of homelessness, and a key component to helping make homelessness rare, brief, and one-time. We look forward to continuing to find ways to collaborate with all who are working to ensure everyone has a safe place to call home. We want to give a shout out to Community Lifeline for working to step up the emergency weather cold systems and helping to accommodate people on the spot in the way that they've been doing. And we also want to give a shout out to Habitat for all of their work and the approaching groundbreaking for their 40th house. Thank you.
That's all we have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Our only business item is resolution to renew a lease agreement, Parks and Recreation. Supervisor Jordan Cripples has details for us.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. Tonight I bring you a lease agreement. So the city leases about 19,800 square feet of land to the D Manor LLC, also known as the Dumontet property. Its physical location is 1202 West Franklin Street. For those of you who don't know, that's the apartment complex up by Luke Field. So we allow the tenant to use this to access in and out of the tenant's building. We also require that they allow access for us to access the gate for city business. And the tenant is responsible for any maintenance and upkeep of the area. And again, we are allowed access at any time for any city businesses. It's a gate that's, if you're looking at it, it kind of goes up to the trail that leads up towards Olympic Highway. This lease is 5 years, and they have to pay annual fee of rent for the property, $641.85, plus any applicable taxes, and that's a year-to-year basis. I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm reading the resolution number 1359-1124.
Resolution number 1359-1124. A resolution of the Council of the City of Shelton, Washington, accepting the Dumontet lease agreement.
Thank you, Donna. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to place resolution number 1359-1124 on the February 18, 2025 consent agenda for further consideration.
Right, comments or questions? Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 1359-1124 on the February 18th, 2025 consent agenda for further consideration. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. No action items tonight. Mark, do you have city manager report?
Just a couple things for you tonight, council. Reminder, tomorrow night, we have a public forum here at 6 o'clock in the Shelton Civic Center regarding the Railroad Avenue sidewalk repair project. So this is an opportunity to further inform the community on this project that'll go to bid month to 6 weeks, somewhere in there. But we're working on correcting some of the heaving and cracking and displacement of some of the concrete panels down there on Railroad Avenue. It will entail the removal of some of the existing street trees and replacement of those. But as you've all seen, there's a plan moving forward. Some of the Cleveland Select pairs will stay, some of them will be removed, and it's kind of a 3-phase project, but we're addressing the most immediate needs in the near future. So we invite the public to come out and learn more about that and see what the plans are for that project tomorrow night. And then I just want to touch on some of the weather response. I really want to recognize our public works crews that are out working to make sure our roads are clear and safe. We haven't had a large accumulation of snow, but it is freezing at night. So when we get that kind of that thaw a little bit and freeze, it freezes back up. So we're pre-treating those roads as much as we can, staying on top of it as much as we can. We also have more snow in the coming forecast. We want to make sure that people are aware of our snow routes. We focus on critical routes to get to critical infrastructure, like the hospital, and we'll focus on those first and then go through secondary routes as needed or as time allows for those. So those are posted on the city's website. I know we post those through social media as well. So we get quite a few calls during these snow events on why somebody's street or residential street hasn't been plowed. And it's simply a matter of manpower. We just don't get to residential streets until the critical routes are taken care of and cleared. So we'll continue monitoring that. The crews are on call 24/7 right now to come out and respond as needed. So again, really appreciate all of their efforts.
You've done a great job.
That's all I have for you tonight. Yeah.
Comments? Anybody have any comments or questions?
Just remember, everyone, drive slowly and get all the ice off your car, even on the roof, before you move. Okay, like be safe out there. Take extra time.
All right. Now, how many you on for this session? All right. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, February 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And there we are going to have, well, that's a study session for the 18th, I'm sorry. And outside of our consent agenda, we're going to have a presentation from LTAC reports from Mason County Housing Society?
Historic
Society.
Historic Society, yeah.
Shelton Mason County Chamber. We'll have a financial report from our wonderful Mike. And we have no business items, no public hearings. We have an Action Civic Center rotating art gallery, and that would be it. And then next week we have on the 11th, we're going to have a presentation called Drug Awareness Project. Basically, they're calling it gas station heroin. It's going to be a really big deal. I encourage everybody to let everybody know to watch this presentation. I've seen it once before. It's pretty scary, the stuff that you can buy in a gas station under 18 that can get you high, addicted, dead. It's pretty crazy. One of them, the big one, is Kratom. Everybody has seen the signs all over town for Kratom. That's just one of them. There's many, many, many of these things that you can buy today under 18 years old and do some harm to yourself. So it's a really great presentation. It's presented by a security employee of a Renton High School. It's actually a local here in Shelton, and he used to work for the Shelton School District. And he's just, it's going to be a really eye-opening experience for you. Kids, keep an eye on your kids, grandkids, what's in their dresser drawer, because you can find mushroom powder, right? You know, it's really some nasty stuff out there that we don't want our kids getting into, or we definitely want our parents to know what our kids are getting into. I believe there's a listening session tomorrow at the state about Kratom alone. So I'll be listening to that meeting as well to hear what they're working on. There's many, many states that have outlawed a lot of this stuff. So I'm hoping that our 35th district, I've actually emailed them this presentation a few months ago and asked them to look into it. And they said they are looking into it. So we can maybe outlaw statewide. I mean, we could outlaw them in Shelton if we wanted to, but if you can go buy it 30 miles down the street, what good is it? We need to get the state involved and get rid of this stuff off the market. So that is it. So this meeting is adjourned. Unless anything else I asked. Okay, we'll make sure I didn't, at 6:24 PM.